When in a sales meeting with a prospect, always be sure to schedule the next meeting. What's happening? It's Erik J. Olson. Many times I've been in a sales situation, and I'm going to guess this also applies to Kevin, where we've done whatever we set out to do in that particular sales meeting, but then we didn't schedule a follow on meeting. And since we didn't schedule a follow on meeting, we weren't exactly sure when we were going to touch base with the prospect again and take the sales process to the next logical step. This was a big mistake that we've made many times in the past, and we've since corrected. But this actually came up again at Rival Digital. So here at Array Digital, we make sure that if we're in a sales meeting, that before we conclude that meeting, that we either leave with a signed contract or we leave with an actual next meeting booked. So what you don't want to do is walk away from the meeting and then try to get their attention through email, phone calls, voicemails, text messages to try to line up the next meeting. And they're not sure when they can meet, and they're going to have to get back to you. And it drags on and on and on for days or weeks, or it never happens. Time kills deals. The more time that goes by without closing a deal, the more likely it is you are going to lose it. Time kills deals. So you want to eliminate time from your sales process as much as practical. So by scheduling the next meeting when you're in a current sales meeting, you eliminate all that back and forth, right? And you have a next meeting. You know exactly when, where, and with who you're going to be meeting. You put it in your calendar and you send it to them. And then you remind them that it's coming up. But you don't have to do any kind of song and dance and promises to try to get the next meeting. It's already established. So back to Arrival Digital. A couple of days ago, I was there, and it looked like we had four what we call digital marketing reviews, which is basically where we do a review of a prospect's website and their digital marketing, social media, advertising, SEO, and then we present it to them at this meeting, the review meeting. And we had four of them lined up, and I'm like, "That's awesome, good job, guys. When's this first one happening?" And the answer was, "Well, I can't get in touch with them. It's just a matter of what day and time." And I'm like, "All right, well, okay." And then what about the second one? Same answer. Third one, same answer. 3 out of 4 of them we did not have lined up for dates and times. And that's when I'm like, okay, first of all, these 3, they're not scheduled for a review. They got to move back into the pipeline. Sorry, that's just the way it is. But also, don't ever leave a meeting without scheduling the next meeting, because days, weeks, like I said before, go by and your chances of getting the deal just diminish. So always be sure to get that next meeting. And if a prospect won't commit to the next meeting, there's probably a reason. And I don't mean, of course, there's legitimate reasons like, hey, I got to get with my business partner to find out. But you try to get a date anyways, right? Just like, oh, well, hey, why don't we just pencil it in for this date? And if we need to, we can change it. Try to get that commitment. The commitment is what's important in this sales process to have a successful sales meeting, if you will. But most of the time when they say, oh, we'll figure it out later, they're blowing you off. It's an objection, basically. If that happens to you, dig, right? Hey, did everything that I presented, did this resonate with you? Do you have any concerns? Try to figure out what it is. Like, why is it that they're not committing to that next meeting? So I would suggest always try to line up the next meeting before your current meeting ends. How much more successful would you be if you could harness the experience of a group of successful business owners? If you could learn from their successes and avoid mistakes they've made in the past? Array Mentors provides the framework and the guidance to help you find your way, get you on the right path, and accelerate your journey to more money and more success. Check out the details at arraymentors.com.